Hey guys, welcome to the MrMaple Show. I'm Matt Nichols at MrMaple, and I'm on location today at our Buchholz Nursery. That's our wholesale farm in Gaston, Oregon. Guys, I want to talk to you about hot and cold Japanese maples. Now, what do I mean by that? We're going to be talking about some trees that we're developing here at our farm. They're going to be Acer pseudo-sam. They're going to work down to zone 4. I'm also going to be talking to you about our heat seeker series, which are Acer olivieranum. Those trees can go in even hotter climates. They do really well in full sun, even in areas like Dallas, Texas. So we're going to be showing you some diversity of hot and cold Japanese maples today. I think you're going to like this one. There's some things that haven't ever been seen before on film coming in today's video. Check it out. If you like this kind of thing, make sure to like and subscribe to the MrMaple Show here on YouTube. All right, y'all, the heat is on. Let's talk about some heat seekers. First up here, I've got Acer olivieranum hot sauce. Now, this is an introduction by the late, great Masayoshi Yano. Yano-san had this one as Nakahara Beni A. We actually obtained this, and he said, if you're going to put it in the trade, please put a different name on it. So we got his blessing to call this one hot sauce. One of the best heat-tolerant reds you'll ever see. Now, not only is it sun-tolerant, but it's also very heat-tolerant in shady conditions for high heat, humid exposures. Acer olivieranum is one of the toughest Japanese maple types. It's actually a Chinese maple that can go in extreme heats, giving it basically a Japanese maple appeal with extra superpowers. So Acer olivieranum X palmatum, probably to get that red in there. So durable. Now it goes from this deep maroon to a bright scarlet red in the fall. Again, it's a Chinese maple, but for most people, this is going to look like an upright red Japanese maple, added superpower of being extremely heat tolerant. Now, hot sauce is a beautiful grower, a little bit slower growing than hot blonde we'll be talking about here in a minute, typically around 8 to 10 foot in 15 years. Absolutely exquisite though for that durability. That's one of our heat seekers. Let's check out some cold ones. All right, guys, so many of you may be familiar with the heat seekers, but we're doing some new things here at MrMaple and Buchholz. Talon Buchholz has been developing some cold tolerant plants for a while, and Tim and I have actually got these into production. So we're gonna be talking about some top secret cool things you might not even seen before here on MrMaple Show. Guys, we're gonna be talking about some Acer pseudo-sam. Now, these are cold tolerant trees that can push down to zone 4, and they have that extra superpower. So just like we talked about hot sauce being a red that can handle more heat, guys, I'm standing next to what could potentially be Acer pseudo-sam icicle. Now, this is a pseudo-sam with some crazy color patterns of red to it as well. We have several different ones in development. This one almost reminds you a little bit of Bronze Age because it's got that bronzing characteristic to it. Acer pseudo-sam X palmatum likely, so you get some crazy colors in there. We're going to be trialing this in zone 4, but there's a ton of unique ones through here. They may keep these names, we'll see. A lot of these names are still in development. They'll probably be an overall series like Heat Seekers name, and then members of that Heat Seeker series. So only the best of the best will actually hit that series. But guys, there's a lot of cool ones in development here. There's a lot of neat things. I think a lot of you zone 4 people are going to be very excited about the color potential, the textures, the sizes, and all the variability coming to Acer pseudo-sam through the MrMaple team. I think it's going to rival what we're doing with the heat seekers, and you guys are going to be really impressed with this. Let's keep touring some hot and cold Japanese maples. All right, y'all, let's talk about another hot one. Maybe we can do hot ones. We can take a really hot chicken wing like Hot Ones TV show every time we talk about a hot one. These are some more of the heat seekers, guys. This one is Acer cerulatum or Acer olivieranum, subspecies formosanum for you old school maple collectors. This one is hot rod. So this one's gonna go down to zone 7, y'all, through zone 9, but be one of the ultimate heat tolerant trees for folks in that heavy zone 9. This one's gonna really impress a lot of you folks who are pushing Japanese maples down in Texas and very high heat areas. So this Acer olivieranum X formosanum, guys, has bee-hoo-like bark. We're actually here in October. Hadn't hit full fall color on everything, but this one will have a yellow stem to it, but with amazing foliage. This thing's actually going to leaf out in the early spring. A lot of seasons, almost being a blood red with a yellow stem, which is crazy. Goes to a green, kind of your traditional Acer olivieranum olive color midsummer, and then golden yellows in the fall. So you get some crazy changes, but when this one's out of leaf, you're going to get bee-hoo-like bark going on this incredible plant all winter long. That's going to be a game changer for people in, higher heat areas like Texas, up to that zone 9. So much heat tolerance and durability in Acer cerulatum. It is one of the quintessential heat tolerant maples. We used to sell the species a good bit on MrMaple just as the ultimate heat tolerant maple. For a lot of people, again, this is gonna look like a Japanese maple, but it's gonna have that extra superpower of being more heat tolerant. Now, that hot rod obviously is a play on that bihu-like bark. This one has a bright, almost lightning yellow stem to it. So one of my favorite times is that early spring when you still have that bright yellow bark, but you've got incredible red foliage, guys. One of the most striking times you'll ever see this is that early spring leaf out time. We're getting amazing colors on this here at the Buchholz farm. It's in production. Gonna be a little harder for those cold tolerant people, but for a hot maple, it's gonna be hard to beat Acer Olivieranum hot rod. We're going hot, cold. It's like a polar plunge right into a sauna every 5 minutes, guys. We just looked at that hot rod and we talked about hot sauce earlier. Let's talk about a cold tolerant red. The working name on this one right now is Acer pseudo-sam Arctic Sun. Guys, this thing's cool. We've got a dark red. This hadn't even hit fall color here in October. And you can see how well this Acer pseudo-sam has held its red coloration late into the season. So this is gonna be a fun one for people that collect Acer pseudo-sam in that zone 4. You're gonna have the potential for having a bright red Japanese maple throughout the spring and summer on into the fall months. Very picked up glowing red in the fall. Upright red for that zone 4 is gonna be an incredible game changer. You know, these all work for us here in zone 6. So we're at zone 6 at MrMaple. We get the benefit of growing a lot of these plants, but for a lot of these people that are in more heat tolerant and cold tolerant zones, a red pseudo-sam is gonna be so much of a game changer, y'all. I absolutely love what this brings to the table. Again, the name Arctic Sun may stick, it may change over time, but it's been one of our very best red uprights that was selected by Talon Buchholz. And then we're kind of getting some of these in development. They're getting closer and closer to getting out there in the trade. Look for Arctic Sun coming soon from the guys at MrMaple.com. Quick clip of another little hot one here for you guys. Hot take on hot tamale. This was Nakahara Benny B by Masayoshi Yano. So another one from World Maple Park. Yano-san selected this one. Told me and Tim we had to put another name on it if we were gonna sell it. Well, it became Hot Tamale. He gave his blessing for that one as well. This one is a little faster than Hot Sauce, very vigorous. Not quite as vigorous as Hot Blonde, but it gives it a run for its money. Typically at over a foot to almost 1.5 foot of growth a year. It's another one that chews that heat up and spits it out. It's Acer Olivieranum X. One of the reasons this one's so popular is in the early spring, Hot Tamale leaves out a neon pink, guys. It'll rival Acer Palmatum Phoenix for that bright pink display in the early spring. Goes to an Olivieranum, kind of that olive color midsummer, which is nice. You'll get some pink new growth. We're actually here in October, right before fall color. Bold reds on this one in fall. But what makes this one so special is that spring display of pink. It's another one of those trees where the spring display is the flower almost. It almost has a flowering appeal to it. We can't do enough Hot Tamale. You guys keep asking for it. We're beefing up the numbers. We're bringing back Acer Olivieranum Hot Tamale. All right, so we've talked about a lot of uprights. How about some lace leaves for you cold critters up north? This one's gonna work in zone 4. This one has the potential, you know, we're not all stuck on the names yet with the cold ones. They may change a little bit. Acer pseudo-sam Arctic Sunset. So this is a beautiful lace leaf that's gonna give you that Acer pseudo-sam cold tolerance, but also the lace leaf quality. This one has a bronzing over it in the early spring that's quite amazing, sometimes even a little bit of a border. We've had bold reds to oranges on this in the fall. It's been an excellent grower, very durable, very cold tolerant, but one of the main things, guys, that lace leaf low weeping umbrella shape. Absolutely exquisite tree. I think it's gonna be a game changer for zone 4 people. Really an outstanding Acer pseudo-sam X. You're getting everything you love about lace leaves, but also in that cold tolerant Japanese maple. And there's a whole series of these, so we might B-roll a few of these guys. There's over 20 selections that are getting whittled down to a smaller set. I may show you a few more of these that might not even give you a full highlight on, but some cool genetics and different traits. All right, guys, I'm here with my favorite tree. That's Acer Olivieranum Hot Blonde. You gotta find out why this one's becoming the industry standard for a fast-growing yellow that's extra heat tolerant. It's got a little something extra going on. Everybody loves these hot blondes. They're durable, they're heat tolerant, they're fast-growing. And dang if they don't have the best fall color I know of. They go to an electric pink red in the fall. I jokingly say I named this one after my wife, Amy, but it is one of my favorite plants. A hot blonde is becoming a staple in the maple industry. It's becoming so popular. One, because of its fast growth. If you're in a high heat area, it's not uncommon for this one to put on almost 2 feet of growth a year some years. It really gets out there nice. Makes a beautiful heat tolerant tree that can shade out your rest of your collection. And it's really one of those game changer plants. I love hot blonde. It's so nice on the color, but also the growth rate, and that fall is probably the best. So grab you a hot blonde on MrMaple. It's one we bring back a lot. I wanted to do this video, guys, to show you a little bit of the hot and cold maples. So we've got Acer olivierums pushing into those hotter zone 8 and 9s, giving you more durability. And we've got those pseudo-sam, guys. Those are taking you down to -30. Those are going to that cold zone 4, giving you new maples with superpowers. Us guys in the middle, we get to enjoy them all. That's the fun thing about collecting Japanese maples. But these are some things that are game changers, I think, for the industry. And a little bit of what's to come in the future here from Buchholz Nursery and MrMaple that are in development. I hope you enjoyed a little first look at some of our cold series. So it's gonna be some really cool stuff coming up. You guys know about our heat seekers. You guys buy those out every chance you get. If you see something that's on our website that's not in stock, you can always sign up to get notified when it comes back. And if you love this kind of content, sign up to watch our channel, guys. Hit that bell. That'll notify you every single time we add new content. We're always pushing the envelope with maples, but also with maple-related content. It's always free here on the MrMaple Show. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.